Hi guys, so today we're going to be working on a 10-minute manicure. So in order to achieve that, you are going to need press-on nails. I'm going to go ahead and run through all the products that I used for this particular look, but I wanted to start off with the press-on nails. So I have two different styles here. For the video, I ended up using the oval, which I'm wearing now, and then there's also this one, which is a coffin shape. I'll go ahead and show it to you, and I'll probably use it later on in another video. But I just wanted to give you guys a look at the other shape. So this, like I said, is a coffin shape or ballerina shape, whatever you prefer to call it. And this is what that one looks like. So you can see it kind of tapers in and then it's square at the top as opposed to completely oval. And I got these in natural. They also come in white and I believe clear. The other one that I have here, and these are both from the same company, these are the oval shape. So I'll just go ahead and show you what one of those looks like. So that's what the nail shape looks like. This is the back of it and then the front, of course. And then, like I said, it has that nice kind of oval shape or almond, depending whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. Now the ovals did come with the box. This one did not. I'm not sure why. Like I said, they are from the same company. So here are the two styles side by side so you can kind of see them. So this is the oval, which is the one that I'm wearing right now, and then the coffin, like I said. They're approximately about the same length. It's just the shape that changes. So this one comes to a point and then this one's flat. So it just depends what you're looking for. Now, of course, because these are plastic, you can always file them to a different shape if you wanted to. You could flatten out this one or bring this one to a point, but it is going to take away a little bit of the length. So just keep that in mind when you're purchasing what style you want and whether or not you want these in different colors. Like I said, they do come in clear as well as white, and then the natural, which you see here. I just prefer the natural because when you look at the back of the nail, it just looks a little bit more natural. So the next items that you're going to need for the tutorial, you're going to need some nail glue. I'm using Kiss today, but of course you can use any brand that you like. Other items that you're going to need is a file, possibly a buffer, fingernail clippers, and a cuticle pusher or orangewood stick. You're also going to need rubbing alcohol. I'm using 99%. That's what I have in my bottle here. You're also going to need your polishes of choice. Today I'm using this one from LeChat. It's called Babydoll. It's from their Perfect Match collection. And the other color that I chose to use is this one from Azure, and this is just a silvery holographic glitter. And then the top coat today that I used is this one here from Gel-Abilities, but you can use whatever top coat you prefer. And then I also used cuticle oil. This, of course, is optional. So first thing I like to do in preparation for the manicure is I just like to take back the length of my nails. I trim them back as far as I can. And then at the ends, I make sure to go in a little bit extra, just so that the nail's going to fit nicely underneath that nail tip that we're going to be gluing on. Then I like to go in and just file the nail just to make sure I have a nice even surface to work with. And then I'm also going to make sure that I'm bringing in my sides a little bit. Again, this is just so that the nail will fit nicely behind the press-on. You can skip this if your nails already fit nicely behind there. For me, I noticed that if any part of my nail is going to stick out of a press-on, it's usually here on the side, which is why I do this extra step. Again, you do not have to do this by any means. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up on my other nail, and then I'll meet you guys right back for the next step. So just like with any nail enhancement, you want to make sure that your nail plate is properly prepared. So what I mean by that is you're going to remove any dead skin that's on your nail plate, like I'm doing here, and you can see all that stuff that comes up. And this is probably just from a week or so of not doing my nails. And then I'm also going to take the other end of this and I'm going to push back my cuticle. And I'm not gouging into my cuticle, I'm just gently pushing it back. And you want to make sure that you remove all of that dead skin. For me, I get most of my buildup here on the sides, but your nails might be different, so just make sure you pay attention and take your time when prepping your nails. You can do this the night before if you prefer. And then I'm going to go in with my file. Now this is not a very rough file. You want to make sure that you're using something that's not going to tear up your nail plate. And I'm not going to go in and gouge it at all. I'm just going to go very softly, and all this is doing is giving texture to the nail, which is going to allow that glue to hold that press on as tightly as possible and to give the best bond you can so that your nail enhancement is going to last a little bit longer this way. I typically get about a week's worth with press-ons of wear, but it's going to depend on your lifestyle, you know, how much you use your hands, how much you bang your hands, how long the actual press-on is. You know, the longer they are, the less they last is something that I've noticed. So I'm just going to go in and rough up my nails and push back my cuticles and make sure to remove any dead skin. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to use some rubbing alcohol. This happens to be 99%, but you can use whichever isopropyl alcohol you have handy. And then I'm just going to take a lint-free wipe and I'm just going to clean that off. And this nail is now prepped and ready for the extension. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my hand, and then I'll meet you guys right back so we can do the next step. So once you've got your nails nice and prepped, you can go ahead and start sizing out what you need. So I'm using the oval ones for this demonstration. So you're going to go ahead and open up your package, and you're going to look for the size that's going to match you. And these are all numbered. So on the back of each one of these, there's a little tiny number right at the tip. I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but right there you can see the little number. You're just simply going to look for the one that fits your nail. And you want to make sure that it covers your entire nail, but that it's not overlapping too much. So this particular size is a size 8. I'm going to go ahead and check a 9 just to see if it'll work. So for me, the 9 works. It covers my nail all the way from side to side, so when I put it on, there's no gap here on the side. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull out the other 9. I'm going to check it on my other finger just to make sure that they're the same size and that it's going to cover everything I need it to. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and size myself, and then I'll meet you guys right back once I have those all set up so I can show you guys how to apply them. So here I have them all laid out in front of me. It just makes it easier to grab one and go. So starting here with the pinky and then ending with my thumb. I like to start with my pinky personally, but you can do it any order you like. I also like to go in one more time with alcohol and just ensure that I don't have any oils or anything on my nail plate. And I'm just going to go in and make sure to wipe that off. And then I'm pulling the wipe away from my cuticle so that I'm not shoving anything into it. So today I'm using this Kiss glue, but you can use any glue you like. The one that I really like is from Sally's, and it's Beauty Secrets. I just happened to have ran out, so I grabbed this one. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I've seen where people put the glue directly onto their nail and then place the nail tip on there. And then I've seen people like I do who place it into the actual nail tip and then place it on. And I'm sorry, I'm going to probably keep calling this a nail tip, but it's a press-on nail. So what you want to do as you're placing it, before I put the actual glue on, I just want to show you guys, you're going to start at the back of the nail, you're going to push it up towards the cuticle, and then you're going to go down, and you're going to try to force out any air bubbles. Now if you get glue that shoots out of the back or anywhere on the sides or whatever, you can clean that up afterwards. I'm not terribly concerned with that. What I want to make sure is that I'm getting good application right up at the base, and that I'm putting pressure on it to get out any air bubbles. You know, the glue will clean up afterwards. It's the application without air bubbles that you're really looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my glue, and you really don't need a ton of glue. You don't want it making a big mess, but you also want to make sure that you are getting a good amount on there so that it's going to adhere well. So like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and butt that up towards the back, and then I'm going to push forward, and I'm going to hold it until I feel like it makes connection. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold that down. Like I said, if I got a little bit of glue underneath the nail or on the sides or whatever, I can clean that up later. So once you feel like it's stuck on there pretty good, you can go around with your cuticle stick or whatever you're using and just get rid of that excess glue. So I'm just going underneath there until I can't get any more. And if you had anything shoot out on the sides, you want to do that there as well. And then just go ahead and pull back your skin if you need to. So as you can see, there's no air bubbles there, and it's on really securely at this point. That's what it looks like from the side. And this is basically ready for polish at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the other nails and finish prepping this hand, and then I'll meet you guys right back. So for the next step, it's going to depend on what kind of polish you're putting on over this. So what I like to do is, there's always this little area on the top from when they manufacture that either there's a little divot or there's a little piece sticking out there. I just like to go in with a file and just even that out. And then this next step is optional. If you're using regular nail polish, you do not need to do this step. I'm going to be using gel polish, so I am going to be doing this step. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the shine off of these nails because obviously they're very shiny. I just made sure that I gave the glue enough time to set up so that it's not going to go pulling them off or anything. You want to make sure that that glue bond is very strong before you go tugging on the nails. Otherwise, you do run the risk of it coming up. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this. You want to give it enough time to actually dry, because even though it's grabbing, it may not be completely dry under there. So I'm just going to be using this here. You could use a file as well, whatever you have that works for you. I'm just using this Polar block. And I'm just going to go in and slightly rough up that surface. We're not really taking anything away from it as far as the shape or anything. So all you need to do is just go in and then make it matte like that. And then, like I said, I'm just refining that tip, making sure that it's nice and even and smooth. Sorry, my camera's acting silly there when I file. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to do this. And then I'm going to wash my hands and I'll meet you guys right back, okay? So once you have that filed down and washed your hands, the next step I like to do is just to make sure that no oils or anything are on my nails since I'm going to be painting them. So I'm just going to be taking some rubbing alcohol again, or isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just going to make sure to wipe that down. And this is just to ensure that there's no oil or buildup on there. And this is just going to make that gel polish stick a little bit better. Now, because we are using artificial nails, we do not need to use a base coat. We can go right in with our color. So the color that I'm using today is going to be Babydoll, and this is from LeChat, their Perfect Match collection. And it's just a really pretty pink. And then I'm going to be doing one accent nail on my ring finger, and I'm going to be using a glittery silver color. So I'm going to be applying 2 coats of polish and curing in between each coat. Once you've cured your top coat, go ahead and remove the tacky layer if you need to with rubbing alcohol. Again, I'm just using a lint-free wipe and 99% alcohol. And at this point, your manicure is completely done. You are free to do whatever you need to do. You can wash your hands, whatever. Everything's dry and nice and set. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and apply some cuticle oil, and then I'll show you guys the final results. Okay, here's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. All of the links will be down in the description box, and there will also be a list of everything that I used in the tutorial. And as always, thank you guys for watching.